Bienvenue à la classe de français. Today we have this really exciting lesson in front of us. We have learned how to talk about what we like to do and what we want to do and what we prefer to do. But now we are actually going to learn how to talk about what we actually do. We're going to start today, though, not talking about actions, but talking about to be, the verb that says what we all are. We are, we exist, and that's the verb we're going to learn first. You know that a sentence is made of a subject and a verb, right? We all know that. A subject is the person or thing that the sentence is about, and the verb is the action that that thing or person does. However, there's more to it. The verb must be in the right form for the sentence to make sense. How do we do that? How do we know how to change the form of a verb? In order to have a sentence that is correct and makes sense, we have to conjugate the verb. But what is conjugation? How do we do that? So this looks very complicated, but actually it's quite simple. Verb conjugation means to change the verb from its infinitive form so that it matches with the subject in a sentence. Remember, we've learned the infinitive form. The infinitive form in French for the verbs we've learned is er, danser, chanter, many others, nager, travailler, étudier. We want to take our verbs out of that infinitive form and make them match the subject. I'm still confused. Let's look at how it works in English. As an example, let's look at the verb to walk. How would it sound if I said, Johnny to walk to school? Sounds ridiculous, right? That's because the verb needs to be conjugated. When we conjugate it, we make the verb match the subject. Let's take a look at how we do that. We use the subject pronouns that we just learned. Remember them? They look like this. In English, I, you, he, she, we, you, they. In French, je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, and elle. What we just learned. Say them after me. Je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. That's fantastic. So you notice that each pronoun, you haven't seen this yet, but you're about to, each pronoun takes a different verb form. We're going to look at this with the verb to be, because in the verb to be, the verb forms are very different from the infinitive, and so it's a good example for us of how things change. Let's take a look. The verb to be in French is être, to be. Notice that être is just one word, être, where we use two words in English, to be. Every time we use a verb, we must make sure we use the form that matches with the subject. Here are the forms of to be in French. I'd like you to copy these down in your notebook. I'll read them to you. You say them after me as you copy them down. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. Pause now if you need to copy these down, and we're going to talk about what each one means in just a moment. Okay, let's go through them one by one. I'm so excited, I'm jumping in the air. Je is I, right? Je suis means I am. Je suis, I am. Tu, you, one person or friendly, right? Tu es means you are. Tu es means you are. You may need to use pause if I'm not giving you enough time. Il is he. Il est, he is. Il est, he is. Elle, she. Elle est, she is. Elle est. Nous is we. Nous sommes is we are. We are. Nous sommes. We'll go through and say them all again in a moment. You plural, so you guys. Vous is you guys. You guys are. Vous êtes. Vous êtes. Il is they, when you're talking about guys and girls or just guys. Now, You might ask me why that is. It's just the way the language is. If you have guys, you're going to have a different word for they than if you have girls. And if you have girls and guys, you'll use the male form, ils. And they are is ils sont. Ils sont. Elle turns into elles sont. Elles sont. Excellent. Take a moment to pause and copy that down. You guys, you're being so loud, I can't think. Okay, now that you've seen what the different forms of être look like, let's practice them together. Let's practice them together. Okay, here we go. We have il, right? Take a moment and see if you can say how to say he is. Il est. Il est. Nous, we. How do I say we are? Nous sommes. Nous sommes. Elles, they. Elles sont. Elles sont. Tu, you. How do I say you are? Tu es. Tu es. How about I? I am. Je suis. Je suis. How about she is? Elle. She is. Elle est. Exactement. Exactly. Elle est. How about you guys are? Vous êtes. Vous êtes. Notice I carry that S sound over, so it's vous êtes, right? Not an S, not a silent S this time because there's an E after it. Vous êtes. And how about they are if it's guys and girls? Ils sont. Ils sont. But wait, what if I want to talk about a person by their name and not use a pronoun, right? Let's say I want to talk about my brother Frank and I don't want to say he, I want to say his name, Frank. Well, it's no problem. You just find the pronoun that matches the noun and use that form of the verb. I'll give you an example. I want to say Frank is my brother, like I just said. The pronoun that matches him is he. So I know I will use the he form of the verb. In this case, est. Frank is my brother. Franck est mon frère. Let's look about exactly how we do this. Let's do a couple together. Lucie, ma sœur. I want to say that Lucy is my sister, right? Well, Lucy, the pronoun for her, First I'm going to look at my chart, right? So I have it available to me. Lucy is a girl, so she'd be she. And the word for she is elle in French. So I find elle in my chart. There it is, elle est. And I take the verb est and I put it up there and I have Lucie est ma sœur. Lucie est ma sœur. Let's try another one. Tom et Marie, américain. Tom and Marie, américain. I'm going to keep my chart in my mind, right? If I don't know it by heart, I can have it right there in my notebook. Tom et Marie, they're they. And they, for a guy and a girl, is il. Now I'm going to find il in my chart. There it is. I find the form of to be, sont, and I put that right in my sentence. Tom et Marie sont américains. Tom et Marie sont américains. Let's go ahead and try a couple on your own. If you still want more practice with that, you can rewind a little bit and you can watch the description of how to do those two a few more times, and that might help make it clearer. Here we go. Jérôme et Luc, something, who knows what, are mes cousins. Take a moment and write that in your notebook. Jérôme et Luc. Sont. Jérôme et Luc, they're ils. The form for il is sont, so it's Jérôme et Luc sont mes cousins. Try another one. We'll do 5. Antoine, mon oncle. When I say Anthony is my uncle. Antoine, mon oncle. Et. Antoine is he, right, which is il. The form in your chart says il est. So the correct sentence is Antoine est mon oncle. Antoine est mon oncle. How about Hélène et Suzette? Mes cousines. Hélène et Suzette, mes cousines. Sont. Hélène et Suzette, they are elles, plural. So on the chart, it tells me that elles and sont go together. So Hélène et Suzette sont mes cousines. And the last one, I think this is the last, maybe one more after this. Tombes-tu ma tante? Does that make any sense? Maybe not, right? Tombes-tu ma tante? Tu takes what form of to be? It takes a. Tu es ma tante. Georgine blank ma grand-mère. Georgine is my grandmother, Georgina. Georgine, ma grand-mère. How am I going to say is? Excellent. Georgine est ma grand-mère. Super. So what you've learned is how to conjugate the verb to be. Je suis, tu es. Actually, say it after me. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. That's fantastic. You see how much you've learned in this one lesson? What's that I hear you say? Madame, vous êtes une prof fantastique. Vous êtes un rockstar. Remember, vous êtes means you are. Madame, vous êtes une prof fantastique. Same as in English. Vous êtes un rockstar. Why, merci. I'm so flattered. Thank you for the compliment. Okay, let's go on to our independent work now. I will just sign out of this. And au revoir. À demain.